So why not take a chance? 'Cause this is our street. Just feel the love beat, yeah. 'Cause this is our street.
Hey guys, it's your girl Beauty, and today is a special day. So today we're going to be doing a garden tour. As you guys know, I started to take up gardening back in May 17th at 11:11. That's so crazy. But May 17th at 11:11, I dropped a seed in the soil, and I had these little planter trays. I think they were beginner seeding trays. I ended up putting squash, watermelon, zucchini. I had a whole little lineup. That's the day I started the garden. Ever since I've been gardening, it's been how many months? May, June, July, August. So it's the beginning of August. It's August 3rd to be exact, and my garden has came so far. So I want to do an update on what the garden is looking like for you guys, because it looks amazing. And honestly, I can't even believe that I did it. Like, I really kept it. I really followed through. And I'm so glad that I took pictures from start to finish. I'm going to be showing you what a 4-month, I won't even say 4, 3-month-old garden looks like, and it's quite amazing. Yeah. I'm so proud of this. So I'm excited to get out there and show you guys. But first, I want to give you guys a brief catch up so that you guys know where we are. So a couple of days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, I had a pretty big harvest for my mini garden. And my garden is not even an acre, babe. It's not even a, how big is it? Dude, my garden is like 2 of these tables pushed together. That was bad. That was a bad comparison. But yeah, so I have a pretty small garden, but recently I had a somewhat big harvest, and it was 3 squashes and 2 tomatoes. When I saw that, I was honestly so happy. And whew, with tomatoes and squash, once they start flowering and fruiting, they never stop all season. So I had way more harvest than in that picture, but I wish I would have took pictures along the way. I think I did, but I actually have Polaroids because I was going to do a little scrapbook video of, you know, my party, of all the Polaroids I have. Hold on, let me go get them. This was my garden when it first started out. This is how it looked when it first started out. Super cute. It started out in baskets, and then this is probably like a couple of days ago. All that squash there. And then this was, whoa. This was the first squash I ever picked. And then this was the first sign of melons. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little update on the melons today. The melons are super cute. Also, the tomatoes were big. I grew the corn from seed, and I actually grew it all from a kit. Let me show you. So initially when I first started gardening, I was gardening out of lack and kind of fear. I bought these Doomsday, it's like a Doomsday prepper garden seeding kit, which works very well. These are all the vegetables and fruit it has that come with it. And inside, when you open it, they have different labels. And then, for example, this is parsnip. Whoa. And it has seedlings in it. Boom, you guys see? And then what you would do is you would go on YouTube, look it up, how to grow parsnip. So that's how I got into gardening. Once again, pinto beans. Sorry, I have to do the YouTube hand, y'all. So pinto beans, you turn it around and then it looks like beans. So what I did was I took all the selections that I wanted to grow. I was in a YouTube hole, just scrolling down videos trying to figure out how to grow each vegetable, each fruit, because I was so excited at first. Now, some stuff I did get from Home Depot that was already a plant, and it came to me already kind of developed, but it's grown so much since then. You can get this off Amazon. It's about $50 or $40, and I feel like it is worth your money, because when I do make a prepper bag, I want this to be in the bag because I know that I can start a garden from these seeds, which is so cool, and I know that they work now. So initially what I did was I took all the varieties that I wanted, and I got these little cedar trays going straight back, and I separated it. And some holes I'll put 2, some holes I'll put 1, you know, to make sure they would germinate. I just did it very randomly. And then I also got some tags from Home Depot. no, I'm sorry, from Amazon, and I stuck it in the beginning so that everything had a label because I wanted my garden to be labeled. So after the first phase of putting the seeds inside of the ground, I then took some fish water from my fish tank because it had ammonia in it, and fish poop, that's what ammonia is. I took that and I put it inside a little sucker tube, and I started just putting water in each of the seed trays, and I would water it regularly when it would rain, and it started to grow. I started germinating my seeds outside, and then some I started in a bag on my window, my front window, and I wouldn't recommend that. It does speed it up, but it does make stuff pretty wet. So after that, I put everything in a pot on my deck, and that's how things were for a minute. I started noticing like little strawberries in the strawberries I got from Home Depot, and I was super excited about that because I was like, we're gonna have so many strawberries. But what I didn't know, like the first year of growing strawberries, they have to get a good rooting system first, and then they come back like really big next year. In my garden now, we only have like a couple strawberries growing. It's not a lot, but in the beginning it was a lot. Probably about like 2 weeks went by, and I was noticing some rapid growth within my squash and corn. Those were the two that I realized like, whoa, okay, these are growing. Like these are not nothing to be played with, you know, because at first I thought it was gonna grow, and if it didn't work, it didn't work, and if it did, it did, right? I was trying to make everything a potted plant. That was the beginning vision. But later on, I got my own garden because my dad, he was like, yeah, I don't really know what to do with that space right there. Honestly, I don't know what we would have done if we didn't do a garden right there, but that's what we went with. So I started to notice some major rapid growth with my squash and with my corn, and I started seeing signs from everywhere. So it was like, you know what, I'm gonna put, well, I didn't do anything. Thanks to my dad, I appreciate him so much. One day he built me this beautiful garden bed, and he was like, oh, you can put all your stuff inside of the bed. And I was like, that's small thinking, buddy. But I took up a section of his backyard, and I actually paid for some dirt myself, and then I put my plants around it, and I put the strawberries in the raised bed like a strawberry patch. Now later on I realized that you're supposed to stack the raised bed up with dirt, which I didn't do. I was being cheap. I was trying to use the dirt on the entire garden instead of just in that one spot and then wait. I was so excited, y'all. Leave me alone. After I got my raised bed, I started to notice so much rapid growth within my seed germinating process. Like they were growing into like full plants, and I was just super happy, and it started to change something in my spirit. Like it gave me something to live for. It taught me patience. It taught me so much about my business, like how you put in the labor and you're bound to get 10 times the abundance and the blessings back. Like it really does work like that. So I did not expect it to get as big as it did, but it did. So if you're looking to go into gardening to give your family food to eat or for a hobby, I would recommend it because it's amazing, and it literally changed my mindset on a lot of things. And when we have food scares or any type of crisis, I feel secure because I have a garden that's actually putting out fruit, and I know, hey, my family, we won't starve. But I do want to say, don't start a garden out of fear and lack. Start it with abundance and the mindset of, if we all do our part, this will grow, and you know, it'll come back tenfold. Don't go out there with fear and making decisions you wouldn't usually make. If the world falls apart, this is going to be our garden, and we have to eat this, and we have to do this, because your plants aren't going to have the same reaction. Like, I know my plants love music, they love their little solar lights, they love the garden gnomes, they be living their best life. Okay, we're gonna go outside right now so I can show you guys the updated version of everything. I'm excited. Let's get into it. Let's go, because this intro took forever. Alright guys, so if y'all hear any tools or anything, that is my dad working. Dad, do you want to say hey? Dad, say hey.
What's up?
So that's what you guys hear in the background, but we're gonna go ahead and get into the garden tour because everything has came so far. So when we first start out over here, we have my corn, and now my corn is actually taller than me. I should have taken a picture, like an update. Dad, don't watch. So I should have took a picture, like an update, because it's so tall. So you have these little pieces at the top, and that's how the corn gets pollinated. And then down here, as you guys can see, this little blonde hair and the brown hair, that's what the corn looks like. Now I think this was probably 15 seeds. I don't know what this is. I'm just seeing this today. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this leaf off, because yeah, that looks like some type of pest right here. I can't see, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut that leaf off. But yeah, so this is the update on the corn. We have a little tiki torch, and then it has little shoots at the top. And then I'm gonna show you what the corn looks like close up. This is what it looks like. Now this is my first year in gardening. Whoa, that grew. That skyrocketed. Hey Dad, do you see this right here?
The little one is growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, tall.
So corn grows pretty fast in my opinion, but corn and squash, this is what the corn looks like. Say what?
Do I have any to put on the grill today?
No, they don't look big enough. I have to look it up. I still don't know when you take it off. I'm scared to open one, so I've never done it before. You are? Oh yeah. Okay, so my dad was saying I'm scared to eat it because we had to spray some stuff on it. I'll show you guys that in a minute, because we did encounter a vine borer, sadly. But that happens with farming. I think some of these are ready and some of these aren't. But I thought with corn, once you pick one, they're all done.
Well, yeah, it's like in a fryer. Once you finish frying, they all finish.
Yeah, but I'm kind of seeing some babies on here too, not just...
No, not the baby ones. I mean, they come up at different times.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I'm going to look it up. I do know that when this little hair turns brown, it's time to come off. I'm scared.
Well, what you do is open up the top, can't you?
Okay, my dad wants me to open it. Whoa. Break the cocoon for it. Why does it look like crackhead corn? Whoa. I don't think it's done all the way.
Yeah, it does look like crackhead. It's crackhead corn.
I don't know. It just looks like crazy.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah, you got to spray it with your stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm about to rip that leaf off. That is an update on the corn, and if y'all know why my corn looks like a little crackheadish, please let me know, because this is my first month. No, I'm sorry. This is my first 4 months, you know, doing the whole gardening thing, so I don't know when the corn is ready or anything like that. I just did it with a hunch, okay? So please help me out in the comments. Let's move on from the corn and let's go to the watermelon. So the watermelon, we have about 4 melons ready, and I'm growing Crimson Sweet watermelon. Boom. I use my label maker to make that, or my dad's. It's really mine. He just doesn't know it. So this is another melon that came in shortly after. It kind of grew like right in my face and I didn't see it. So we have 5 melons in total in our garden bed. You can kind of see them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have to have like a really good like eye to spot them out, but because sometimes they just come out of nowhere. So with the melons, they start out as flowers early in the morning. They flower, and then some of them that are male will have a big bulge on the back. It's like the same with squash. And then when that flower gets pollinated, the male flower, it turns into a melon. I wish I could show you guys the beginning cycle, but I can't find one right now. Let's move on to the strawberries. So these are the strawberries. I actually put a couple plants in here earlier in the season because I was worried about pollination. So down here, strawberries start out as flowers first. Not these pink flowers here. That's what I put in the bed. And it just started to trail and go under the ground, and they look so pretty. But strawberries start as flowers first. Now, I don't know why this one is growing like that. I've had an issue growing my strawberries. See right there? Starts out as a flower. A little yellow daisy looking flower. And then, why is there an ant on me? And then down here, we have a couple strawberries trying to grow on the same one. And let me see, do I see any more strawberries? I have had full grown strawberries come out of this garden. Knowing myself, I took a picture, so I'll probably put a picture in here somewhere. But yeah, let's move on to the tomatoes. So this tomato plant is getting so big. How tomatoes fruit is very different. They all start with the flower and then they move on to the fruiting process. So these up here are gonna be, you know, yummy tomatoes, but you have to tie it back and make sure that it's supported so that it can hold itself. Now, this type of tomato plant is, it can grow to any size. Some tomato plants stops at a certain size, but I don't have that one. So I'm just gonna have to keep cutting it the bigger and bigger it gets, because I don't want it to get taller than me because I won't be able to manage it. And I don't want it to flip to my neighbor's yard because I don't think my neighbor wants tomato plants. What? Okay, the dogs probably did that. Just pull that off. Okay, so you want to rip all the little weak links off because you don't want your plant trying to give life to something that's not even grown right. You see down here we have a couple of baby tomatoes, and I have to spray again. Excuse that dirt up there, I just laid some more dirt. But these are some baby tomatoes down here, and this is how they start out. And I'm going to show you a couple bigger tomatoes, but I have to pin this up later, so excuse that. Right here, they get so big like this. Now you're probably asking yourself, why is this orange? First they turn orange and then they turn red. It's like, it's kind of a process. They start out green. People sometimes eat green tomatoes, but I like, oh my god, do you see that spider? But I like red tomatoes. I've never really tried fried green tomatoes, so I'm cool on it. But I could try it later if someone knows how to make it. So this is another small baby tomato, and once again, I don't know why it looks like this down here. I have to figure it out as I go because I am still new to this. I do know that I have to spray and insert their medicine again today. These are two newer squash plants over here because we got hit by a vine borer and they were trying to kill them. If you are growing squash, you're gonna need the same pesticide. I don't even know if you can call it that because it's not really harmful, but you're gonna need this same pesticide to dodge the vine borer. Okay, so I'm back. So today I'm actually gonna give the squash plant its medicine. As you see, this leaf right here is real, it's not laying right like those, so that's a little indicator that the vine borer is in your stem. And they come back every time you get these little yellow flowers. They're always there the entire season. They're just a pest. That's how they are. But what can help is clipping off the lower leaves, because it helps the plants focus this energy up this tube here. And then when you cut it off, cut it to where there's no opening down here. There, cut it to where there's no opening so that the vine borer can get inside. Now if it chooses to burrow inside, then that's its choice because we're about to spray it with something. So
You never know this is your old job.
huh?
This is your old job.
Yeah, that they know that was my old job. Okay, so right here I just clipped the leaves off, and that gives the plant more energy to focus up. And there was already something wrong with this plant. You guys can see the poop, the vine borer's poop right here. And my plants, if you can see, they're dripping water. That shows you that my plants are getting enough water. Squash plants actually hold water similar to a cactus, so that lets me know, like, hey, like my plants are freshly watered, they're good, they're fine. I'm not gonna pick these till I'm about to go inside, because I don't want these all over the ground and stuff. But I'm gonna show you how I give the squash plants its medicine. And when you do it, wear gloves, because this squash plant is so spiky. It has little spikes on it. This one too encountered a vine borer. That's why it looks so skinny. But this is how they look when they first start off, and then they get older and older, and you know, go into this. Now this one needs to be braced up a little bit better because it's starting to fall at the top there. So I think one of the braces broke, and then I have to figure out what's going on over there, but probably a vine borer killing it from the inside. What I use to get rid of my vine borer is caterpillar killer. It's called caterpillar killer, but it can be used for vine borers as well. And this is perfectly safe, and it's organic. So this is for trees, shrubs, vegetables. I saw a video on YouTube because one day I encountered the vine borer, and we were fighting over my plant if I was gonna lose it or not, and I won the battle. So after that video, I was like, you know what, I'm going to take that person's advice. I take this little needle here. You can get these needles off of Amazon, and they're just a regular, you know, medicine needle. Just be careful when you use it because it is really sharp. and it won't hesitate to go through your skin. So I'm gonna show you what I do. Okay, so the way this works is it's actually a bacteria that the hornworms and vine borers, they do not like. So you're gonna mix it up really good, and it's usually filled up to here, but it's pretty low because I do this every week. So you're gonna go ahead and fill this up. Boom. It's not filled up, but I don't need that much. And every 3 inches you're just gonna go ahead and go into the squash plant, and you're gonna inject it. Mama, we cannot escape, we cannot come out. Sanaya, come get your shot.
Wow, what's up, Nana?
No, that was just because y'all probably thought I was at school.
Girl, nobody thought you was at school.
It's 4:23. Why would you thought you was at school? Well, you kind of seemed like you was at school because you didn't talk to us the whole day of school hours.
Alright, y'all, so this is how it looks when a vine borer has burrowed its way into your squash plant. Don't panic because the plant is still able to be saved. You just have to work very quickly. So I use that same stuff. You can get it off Amazon. You can get it at any store. Okay, not any store. I don't know what stores. I don't know what stores because I got it on Amazon. But yeah, if you use that, and every 3 inches on the stem, inject it into the stem, and then mix it in with some water. It has the measurements on the container, but mix it in, and then you're going to spray it over all your plants when you're done, even the tomatoes, and then you're just going to put in some more plant food in the soil. So let's walk over here to the sunflowers that I put in a long time ago. They're about as tall as me now, and then you can see in the top here, they're almost ready to flower. So what I'm gonna do is, see right here, if you guys can see. So I kind of started all this like it was something random, and then it turned into this big thing. I'm gonna brace these up and go brace those tomatoes up, and I'm gonna be done. Yeah, these are the sunflowers I grew, and this is how tall they are. They're pretty big. They're almost as tall as the gate, a couple of them. I'm just gonna brace them up with something around here. And then we also got these trellises and these little tiki torches for the tomatoes. The tomatoes have to be braced up because now they're finally tall enough. But yeah, this is not the only garden tour I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come back when it's later in the season. It already is later in the season, but I want to show you guys how I finish it out. If I finish strong, what happens, because this was honestly a fun thing that kept me busy all summer, and I just want to show you guys how it was just dipping my toe in gardening. That was the garden tour. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate every single one of you, and I post every 4 days. So stay tuned for an upload, and if I miss an upload and I'm a little behind, it's gonna be every 5 days. But I've been trying to do every 4 days, so y'all stick with me, subscribe, and share my videos because it will really boost my channel. And if you would like, shop my shop. It's linked down in the description, and I feel like that's pretty much all y'all need to know. But I love you. Bye.